So the project was about the tragedy of the commons. The tragedy of the commons is a phenomenon that occurs when many harvesters or many players are taking resource from a common pool resource, and due to their uncoordinated and selfish action, this resource gets depleted. Even if with a coordinated action, when there could have been a higher outcome from the resource and not drive it to extinction. So the project, some of the idea was in trying to study models with space that have also space dimension, because the what had not been studied, and see if the space dimension can bring something to this query of the tragedy of the commons. Also, we were motivated with several studies of small communities by anthropologists, my collaborators Rafael and Mark, that basically they had studied plenty of communities in which they could either solve or not this tragedy of the commons, and we're trying to see like if there were, so how all this what were the variables that were influencing for them to solve it or not, or if we could see something on the mathematical level. So the importance of it is that the many we're seeing, and that, for instance, in fisheries, how are basically the catches are decreasing worldwide, and most of the seas are being depleted. This does not only happen in fisheries, but also like when harvesting wood and many other natural resources. So, and even if this question can be many, like the origin can be manifold, like from climate change and many other things, we would like to look at it through these lenses of more organization and game theory, just because also it has been observed that even seas which are governed from developed countries are mismanaged. Countries that can have all the information, countries that can have plenty of resources, and they are not even able to manage that. So the first thing we learned with Mark and Rafael was actually the question of boundaries. So typically one of the ideas is that for solving this tragedy of the commons, what should do is to divide the land. For instance, if there is a resource that's in a land, so we're going to divide this land, and one harvester optimizes in their own land and the other in the other, and this could prevent over harvesting in their lands. And one of the things we're observing is that in very specific situations, this could not be good. It could even be worse, namely when there are resources that are changing boundaries. And this could promote more greediness to the harvesters. So then also I developed in some mathematical models to observe how where harvesters are harvesting just by this to detect if they are collaborating or they are competing for a resource. And as well to look at, like, the anthropologists also had discovered that depending on the resource uncertainty, society is organized differently. So if the resource is more uncertain, they tend to collaborate more and to share information. Whereas when the resource is more predictable, the communities, to prevent this tragedy of the commons, what they do is actually put some rules on how much they can cover or how, or things like this. So basically, one of the greatest things I see is that you can submit a proposal, and in few months or less than, like, in 1.5 months, you have an answer and you can already start the project, which is in contrast with other things that you might apply and have to wait for 6 or 9 months, and maybe even if you have this funding, maybe people are elsewhere. So I think that this is one of the greatest perks of this project, this initiative.